Hello Internet, I'm the Disney Brain and welcome to another edition of The Top. After weeks of requests to create a video diving into everyone's favorite musical couple, well, either them or these guys, the wait is finally over. I know there's been a couple of you who really wanted this. I'm looking at you, Sam Plays Games, so hopefully you all enjoy it and just maybe come away humming a new tune, because we're diving into the top 10 best Austin and Ally songs. This show had 4 seasons and a lot of songs to go with it. Some good, some bad, some I never want to listen to again, and from it, 10 standouts emerged. But obviously, a top 10 list doesn't account for even half the number of songs from the show, so make sure to share your own favorites. Also, we're nearly at 2,100 subs, guys, and because 21 has always been a special number for me, I wanted to celebrate with a Q&A video. In the comments, you can literally ask me anything, and I will answer it, and you can ask as many questions as you want. Go nuts with it, and in about a week or so, I'll make a special video with all the answers. So, with all that said, let's kick things off with number 10. I know, weird to see Jessie of all things involved in a top 10 list, but I do think this song is pretty catchy, and Debbie Ryan actually adds to it. It's a bit strange lyrically with talk about invisible friends feeling somewhat out of place, but it kind of made sense. Plus the song itself did make sense for the Jessie, Austin and Ally collab episode that they were doing. Not exactly something I'd be rushing to find on iTunes anytime soon, but a harmless and catchy song.
I just wanna see you face to face. So later, yeah. You changed the world outside my window. Right there you blew my heart.
The music video that goes along with this one makes it really funny to me, but it's also some of the best singing by Ross Lynch in the context of this show, and it kind of feels like, with a few adjustments here and there, it's something R5 could have performed. It bears noting that I don't think the show's particularly great with songs that have more of an acoustic inclination, but this was a nice exception. I would argue that the lyrics are overly simplistic, but to be fair, that's kind of a recurring trend with many of the show's songs. None of these guys are Ed Sheeran, but that doesn't mean that these songs aren't without their own more humble merits.
Ordinary day, oh yeah, so ordinary day.
Kind of a fun concept with another catchy tune to go along with it. Honestly, I don't have too much to really analyze here. What you hear is kind of what you get. Pretty straightforward. But as we move into the top 7, we start getting into the songs that I can actually talk up a bit more. This song is a ton of fun, and probably the one I groove to the most while making this video. It starts off slow like most Ally solos do, but then explodes into something kind of awesome. It's also a good take-home message from the perspective of Ally's character, since the whole idea behind the show is that she's the one less inclined to perform. But here, she's placing all those fears about being a bad dancer or a bad performer to rest, and it's nice to see both musically and character development-wise. And, speaking from personal experience, dancing like nobody's watching is one of the most liberating feelings ever. Try it sometime.
Because something so brilliant is meant for just 2 in a million.
The song that capped off the 4-season run for this show, in addition to bringing Austin and Ally back together for good. But it's also a well-performed, well-sung song that serves as a pretty nice send-off for these characters. We can all do math here, so I'm not going to bother with why songs love the word millions so much, but other than that, the song works very well, and it nicely ties together the relationship of our 2 leads. It's very toned down from a lot of the more exciting songs that we get, which makes sense since our 2 leads are in a rough spot emotionally when they're singing, so the way they sell that was pretty good as well.
It's meant for just 2 in a million. I think about you every morning when I open my eyes. I think about you every evening.
Even though 2 in a Million got Austin and Ally back together, this song I thought was better at the task of initiating their relationship. I think it's the best acoustic song the show has provided us with, and even though lyrics are a bit of an Achilles heel for many a song on this show, these lyrics work better than most. They feel very organic and real here, like what a budding romance might actually sound like between our two leads, and Austin performs it pretty well. It's simple, it's sweet, it gets the job done, and we all know what happens afterwards.
Think about you, you. No, it doesn't get better than this.
This song is pretty powerful, both musically and performance-wise. I think this, alongside maybe Chasing the Beat of My Heart, might be Austin's best overall performance on stage. Trust me, I've done it before. Umbrellas aren't easy props to work with. It all has the feel of a top 40 song, which might perturb some, but hey, it's like Dipper Pines once said, top 40 songs are top 40 for a reason. And yes, I have started watching Gravity Falls. And yes, I think it's pretty good so far. Anyways, this song, just like Dance Like Nobody's Watching, is all about fun and letting the beat move you, and that's exactly what it did. Despite what its name might tell you, however, there are still 3 tracks remaining that are, in fact, better than this.
Doesn't get better than this. Oh, better. On the stage, free yourself from the cage. Pick a card and guess it, girl. Here's a lesson, girl. It's just
This is one of the most unique feeling songs on the show, and from what I've seen, most would also place it somewhere in their top 10. When I first heard it, I immediately felt like it's something NSYNC would perform back in the day. I mean, just listen to the chorus and tell me you don't hear what I hear. It's also got some solid lyrics to go along with it. You can really tell the guys behind this one thought about the distinct elements like magic and mystery and did well to incorporate them into this number. It's also one of the smoothest songs this show has produced. It just flows really well, especially the aforementioned chorus, which they nailed. This was so nearly number 2, but the next song literally and figuratively stole its spot.
right back, stay right here. Ain't no second guessing, girl. Not the best girl, but I'm just an illusion. Call me criminal. I won't deny you, make me want it all. Everything you are.
This track had me hooked from the very first listen. It's one of those songs that gets so many details right. The feel of it seems like a combination of early 80s and late 90s. The lyrics are pretty simple, as is the norm, but the electrifying way that Austin sings them is what gets me. It's catchy in an advanced way, because of how the vocals are pushed forward through the backing track. The guitars, the drums, heck even the cowbell, they all work well together and fused in this musical number. And it feels like one of those songs that don't need the context of the show to be good, like some of the tracks on this list that are more reliant on that. It's pretty good, but not quite number 1. But before we get there, let's bring in some honorable mentions.
No matter what you do, I'm gonna steal your heart. Open up your heart. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. You just call out my name, and you know today's the day. Let's celebrate with that Christmas song. Feel that Christmas. Chasing the beat of my heart. Oh, you and I think about you all the time. No. Call me criminal. I won't deny you, make me want it all.
For the record, yes, I am a fan of this show. Not every season of it per se, but that's another story. But it's mainly because I love the way the backing track is created not with standard instruments, but with vocals most of the time. When done right, a Glee Club song could sometimes feel even more inspired than the original version. But to make things even better, this is a mashup of all the most popular songs from the show at the time. And yes, you can argue that the transitions don't always work, especially in the context of the Glee competition that the cast are actually in, but it's still great hearing all the best parts of some of the best songs. A few of the songs they hit on are on this list, and I'm left wishing they would come out with a full Glee version for them. That's how good this is. It's also nice to see all 4 of the main cast members performing on stage together, which, as many of you know, doesn't happen all that often. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of the show's theme song, the way they start and end this mashup with it was well executed and an intelligent move. And how about Dez hitting that kind of high note? Everyone will have their own perspective on this, but for me, number 1 is Glee. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, help me out with the likes, subs, and share it all over social media. And don't forget to like the Disney Brain on Facebook and Twitter for updates. Links down below. Also, remember to leave your questions for me in the comments for the Q&A video to come. Don't think about it too much, just ask away. And if you have another question later, just tack it on. Both Girl Meets World and Stuck in the Middle are back this Friday night, with episode reviews to follow. So, unfortunately, that means that the Cheetah Girls DCOM review will have to be pushed back until next week. But it is coming, along with more Ranger videos and... Wait, what is that? Something orange colored? Oh yeah! This is happening soon, so stay tuned. Until then...